If you've been on TikTok for a while, you must have heard about a ton of Africans telling you that Europeans stole Africa's resources. Now, there's a lot to say about that. First and foremost,
But they did, though. They have been stealing our resources for hundreds of years now. Why is he saying it's like this isn't true? He's saying it's like Africans are on TikTok lying that Europeans have been stealing our resources.
You're insecure. When a European expresses their insecurities, believe them.
most of these resources are still in Africa, and they're not being stolen by Europeans. They're actually being sold to Europeans by the African state leadership. Your own elites are robbing you. It's not us doing it. Not anymore.
He said not anymore. Well, at least at this point now the truth comes out, because in that statement there, he indirectly admitted to the fact that yes, they did steal our resources. But he's saying not anymore, like they don't do it anymore. It's our elites, our leaders are the ones that, selling the resources to them now. First of all, them folks are not our leaders. Those are the puppets that you guys put in there to do your bidding. Those are the puppets that you guys put in there so you can hide under them and say, no, we are not doing it. They are the ones doing it. Like exactly what he's doing right now. Yeah, that's what they are doing there. That's their purpose. That's why you guys put them there. Our leaders, we know them. You people killed them. Thomas Sankara, he was our leader, but you guys unalived him because he wasn't willing to be you people's puppets. He was there for us, his people. He wanted to do right by us and right for us. But because he wasn't going to be beneficial to you guys, you people unalived him so you can put in a puppet. Patrice Lumumba, he was our leader, but what did you guys do to him? And we have hundreds of people like this. When they have unalived our leaders and people who want to do right by us, then they put in puppets that are going to do their bidding and help them continue their colonial legacy. And then come back around and say, why are the African leaders not helping the people? Like you guys don't know what the people are doing.
This one who is courageous enough to come on land and express his thoughts and feelings should reveal to us what conversations they're having around the family table. They can see their future. It looks pretty dim. Pretty dark, actually, as a new dark age approaches. Now, which is it? Is it that African leaders are selling our resources, or international policies have been structured in such a way that as African people we've been condemned to net exporters of raw materials?
I think I want to play that last part back just one more time, because that's a very interesting point that he brought up there.
Now, which is it? Is it that African leaders are selling our resources, or international policies have been structured in such a way that as African people we've been condemned to net exporters of raw materials?
Because while yes, we are in fact suffering from the issue of puppets that are just running wild on the continent, there is also this amazing point that he just brought up that quite frankly had not come to me before. So now that I'm pondering on this point that I don't even know why this never came to me, right? We have to sell resources anyways. We can't even say we don't want to sell to them folks, because then they are going to come with we know how they run now. The next thing we're getting is sanctions. The next thing we're getting is, all of these things getting thrown at us, and people have to suffer for it. So yes, the puppets are puppeting, but there are some economic systems that are in place holding us down as well. But of course, they are not going to acknowledge the existence of such economic systems now, are they? It's the Africans that are just lazy and too dumb to know how to go about elevating themselves, right? Nobody is holding them anymore. Colonization ended, but let's continue.
The real issue, of course, is why aren't Africans using their own resources to do things? Why does Mr. Beast have to go to Kenya to build water wells? Why didn't the Kenyan government do it themselves? I suppose the Kenyan government could have done it themselves. They just chose not to do it.
I cannot even argue with him on that point right there, because yes, our leaders were supposed to be the ones who are going about making sure that our people have the basic amenities that they need, right? Basic necessities to continue to go on and live healthy, easy lives, right? So on that point, yes, I agree with him. But still, it's not exactly a landing argument for me. Why? Because globally, there are people in various nations, in America, in the UK, in Canada, wherever, that are suffering or lacking some basic necessities that their governments still have not been able to provide for them. Like in America, for example, there are thousands of people that are homeless. America is a rich country. Why have their governments not provided homes for these people? They can't give people homes for free, but they choose not to, right? They would rather send money to Israel so the Israelis can bomb Palestine than help their homeless people get homes. So it's things like that for me that I'm like, that's not exactly a landing argument. Because governments globally intentionally turn a blind eye to certain things that are happening in their immediate country and pretend like those things are not happening. For reasons ranging from, one, they are just selfish mofos and don't want to do ish for nobody so they can keep all the money for themselves. So two, they just don't care about people. They don't care about their people. They are only there for their own agendas. So using wells and the Mr. Beast situation is not exactly, for me, a landing argument, because no matter where you go in this world, you are going to find people who are suffering, but their governments just don't care about their struggles. So if such issues are present across the board, both in developing countries and developed countries, I think such issues existing in our world speaks more about the mindset of world leaders in general and how sick and twisted, selfish that they are, and just altogether nonchalant about their people. All they care about is their agendas, than it speaks about how we are not using our resources here for ourselves. So yes, like he said, the Kenyan government could have built those wells by themselves. They just choose not to do it. Same way the US government can build homes or give homes to the thousands of homeless that they have on their streets, but they just choose not to do it.
Nigeria is now a country of almost 220 million people, the largest country in Africa. But they only produce about 10% of the electricity that a small country like Hungary. Hungary only has 10 million people, but they produce 10 times as much electricity as Nigeria does.
Now I'm just like, my goodness, these arguments. Which one is it really, guy? Like, can you stick to a point? Is it that, are we using our resources or are we not using them? Are we selling them or are we using them? Or we are selling and using? Which one is it? Because at the beginning, he started out like, oh, we have all of these resources, but we are not using them anyways. Our elites are selling all of them out and robbing us, right? But now it's like we are producing 10% of electricity, meaning we are using our resources, right?
Which is it? Are African leaders selling out our own people? Or are they putting their foot down and using our mineral resources to sustain ourselves?
I mean, I know you want to have your Wakanda, right? But do you expect white people to give it to you? No, you're supposed to build it yourself.
Which is it? Are we using our resources to develop our military and our technology, so much so that we're a threat to future Europe, Western society?
Having said all this, it is of course obvious that we Europeans in the North need to prepare for a possible, potential African rise in terms of technology and therefore also in terms of military capacity. And that means we in Europe need to already start looking ahead and thinking ahead about how we are going to win the war against Africa, because there will be a future war between Europe and Africa.
There is so much happening in this video right now. Man just said they need to prepare for war. At the beginning of the video, he said they are no longer stealing our resources, not anymore. If they are no longer stealing our resources, if they are no longer oppressing us, if they are no longer exploiting us, if they are no longer on our necks, why do they need to prepare for war? No, somebody should help me make this make sense. Please, 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 please. He started at the beginning of this video trying to make it seem like they are not doing anything to us. Was giving this energy of we know they do or anything anymore. We don't have any issue with you people. As a matter of fact, we're even helping you guys. Our folks are coming down there and helping you people build wells. But now he ended the video telling his people that they need to prepare for war. If they are no longer doing anything to us, why do they need to prepare for war? if they are not doing anything to us, won't they just be chilling over there in the north? And I also find it very interesting how they are constantly never thinking about reconciliation. It's always mind-boggling for me how these people's minds operate. What kind of people are this, man? How is it that this one group of people are the constant K when it comes to offending? They are constantly the offenders. Even if they are clearly seeing, like he is, that one day this thing go over us, we can't do this forever because them folks that we are oppressing are going to come at us and try to liberate themselves. They cannot help but continuously be antagonistic. Like the character of them folks, how they process things and how they choose to go about handling these situations, it's just crazy to me. It's literally out of this world. Them folks are suffering from some level of brain damage at this point, because I cannot make sense of their logic. I really cannot make sense of the logic of, okay, I know them folks are angry with me, and I know I've been messing with them folks for years now, and I know I have been oppressing them, and I know I have been subjugating them, and I know I've been stealing from them. And I know that eventually, because nothing lasts forever, they are going to rise up and, want to, come at me for all these crimes I've been committing against them. I know they would want to, even the playing field. I know they would want to, fight for themselves and their liberation. I know they would want to one day make us pay for our crimes. And this scares me. It scares me so much that if this day comes, I worry about what the future generation of my people are going to be like. So I have to make sure that this future, inevitable future that I am foreseeing, doesn't come to pass. So what I would do is, I would suppress and oppress them more and exploit them more and continue to steal from them more and continue to stay harder on their necks more and give them more reasons to be mad at me. Give them more reasons to make sure that this inevitable future that I'm so scared of would certainly come to pass, than rather just meet these folks and say, you know what, I'm sorry, we have been doing this to you. What can we do right to make amends? What can we do right to make sure that we live in a far more better world? What can we do right to make sure that we heal these wounds, even though it's going to take generations to come to fully heal? But how can we caused this? How can we make it better? Instead of doing this, which is the normal, natural human thing to do, I thought, they are like, let's prepare for war. Can somebody please make me understand this logic?
Which is it? Are we preparing for war? Or are we just a bunch of incompetent morons who don't know what we're doing with our mineral development? Either Africa is selling out its own resources and we're incompetent, we don't know how to use them, or we're utilizing them to develop our own technology in our own military capacity. You can't have it both ways. But alas, when they express their insecurities, believe them. Then we won't be caught off guard, will we? We've been paying close attention to these people. Yes, indeed. Fellow brothers and sisters, prepare. Maybe he's a joker, maybe he's for real, who knows? We will find out. But one thing is fundamentally clear. Winter is coming. A new dark age is here. And like I've said before, this won't even be a war so much as a meat grinder on your behalf. You and your extinction level birth rates. See you on the other side.
He might be a joker, but I know better at this point to take anything that these people say as a joke. He is just one person saying this. I know he's not the only one thinking it. And I know them folks, the ones of them that are up there, are thinking it as well. And maybe already even making preparations towards said war, right? So, no, I wouldn't take what was said in this video as a joke at all. I would take what was said in this video as an indication for us to start getting ready ourselves. Yeah, for said war. He was the one who mentioned war. We didn't. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, right? And as a matter of fact, this war has been going on for 500 years now, if we want to keep it 100%. If we want to keep it 100%, we have actually been at war for 500 years now. what we need to make sure of right now as a people globally is that when this war finally comes to an end, we are the ones standing at the winning end. But anyways, guys, do let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are. What do you think about this video? What do you think about what the guy said? What do you think about what our brother said? By the way, he's from South Africa. What do you think about my little 2 cents? What are your contributions as well? Do share with us down below in the comment section. And of course, as always, thank you very much for watching. I would see you guys in the next one. Bye.